I'm Kevin Casey. I'm a professional mixed martial arts fighter. And right now what I'm about to do is issue a warning out to all other competitors.
I don't want overs. I just expect them to happen.
Fatty's gonna fatty is real.
He is terrible!
I think it was goblin fucking wieners and buns.
I'm gonna go quick because I don't give a fuck about anything that's gonna happen on Saturday.
Welcome back. We're back with the MMA Analysis. Big fight cards, or I should say fight card, and then something else entirely on Friday, but it happened. And we're back with another event this week. I am joined by two of my co-hosts this week. Just so you guys know, California, Dougie lives out in the LA area, and with the fires out there, it's been a bit of a tough time, for everyone out there. You can certainly reach out to him and he can give you more info, but with that said, he is not with us this week. He should be back, relatively soon, hopefully next card, but you can definitely reach out to him. He's definitely tweeted out some information, so do all that. First co-host, he's back, the Kentucky Sodsman. How are you, sir?
Man, doing pretty good. Was a little bit heartbroken over the week. I missed the show last week when my favorite fighter on the planet right now was smacking dudes with his 18-inch meat stick.
Yeah, T's and P's to the audience for missing the Kentucky accent last week.
Yeah, but yeah, man, it was a good weekend, man. That fight card was pretty legit, man. It was one of the best fight cards of the year. Friday was but yeah, Saturday was really really cool card, and like I said, man, my favorite fighter won, and we'll go talk about that in a little bit.
Other co-host with me this week, the Canadian teenager, New Sean. How are you?
Doing well. My Oilers are still eating a bag of dicks, but hopefully we can turn it around soon, and so I don't, continue with this depression that goes along with the winter months in the Great White North.
Yeah, I mean, those months got to be pretty depressing up there. If you got the Oilers are losing, and maybe like just the Flames are winning, I guess. Is that your rival? I don't even know.
Yeah, for the most part, I just hate Toronto.
Everybody probably does. Is that like the anti-New York thing?
Yeah, it's like the anti-Yankee, anti-New York thing for sure.
Except the Yankees are actually successful, and Toronto as well. They've been won in 50 years?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's weird. Anyway, I mean, Wes kind of started it off, but there was a lot of action on that Saturday card, and I guess the number one story is not the title fight, I have to say, but it has to be the emergence of the Cameroonian Francis Ngannou, Wes's BFF. He is a victor over what some are conspiring as Overeem lost on purpose. He knew how to take a KO that wouldn't hurt him badly.
Yep.
Because Dana paid him to do so they could promote Francis Ngannou as a future champion.
Jesus, his toes were curled, dude.
That's what I'm hearing.
He took some solid acting classes before he had to take that dive. It was on
Wes,
point, man.
How are you going to defend your man here?
Dude, come on.
Come on, Wes. I mean, you don't see it? You really don't see it that they're just gift wrapping it for him?
It's not even the title shot. It's not the title shot that they was trying to set Ngannou up. It's Reem hosting TUF. That's the inside job.
Oh.
Reem got knocked out so he could coach TUF.
Against who?
Who knows? You got to ask
do it again.
You got to ask fucking Peanut Butter Dick over there what the whole conspiracy. Like seriously, like come on, dude.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Tell me about the Hogs' performance. Was it everything you thought it was going to be, or was there anything that surprised you?
Talking to me?
Yes.
Go ahead. You go first.
I mean, I won't spoil.
Well, Wes, we already know Wes's response. I want to.
Well, I gotta say at least a few words on the host.
This is no spin zone, all right?
I mean, the fight lasted a minute 42. I don't think either of them landed a punch until Hawgannou decapitated Overeem. I don't know what the hell Overeem's doing. Swinging like a fucking insane person with somebody who has obscene power. But, I mean, it's not that big a power, supposedly. It's just average. He's just knocking out a bunch of guys with no chins.
Another fucking conspiracy fucking hour.
Fuck me, yeah.
Yeah, every single win he's got on the UFC has been a finish inside of 2 rounds.
Like
I think 4 of them by
line.
knockouts. Yeah, just he couldn't finish Anthony Hamilton with his hands though.
Yeah, he had to go for the old submission there.
Off.
Yeah,
rip his arm off.
Yeah, I don't know what Overeem's thinking there. That was just overextends. I said the only way he's gonna win is if he just stays patient, doesn't get wild, and somehow pick his shot. But there was nothing of that sort going on that night, and now his head is in orbit.
Yeah.
So I've heard.
I will say though, I was pretty, like Sean said, it was only like a minute and something, but I was kind of impressed by Ngannou kind of engaging, and he bodied up Reem a little bit too early. Kind of didn't let him sit back and kind of get any power shots off at all. I mean, he went right at him, which I like to see that. I thought that was a good plan, but man, I just don't. I guess we're going to talk about the title fight, but man, this he's got something, man. It's just I've seen a lot of fighters over the years, man, and there's few that come along, man. There's a lot of good fighters in the sport, but some just fucking have it, man. And I think this dude's just got it. If he does get by and get this belt, man, there's not a lot out there, I think, that can compete with this guy. Yeah, this dude could seriously hold on to this belt for a really long time. I know it's heavyweights and guys get caught, but you're looking at a guy that's never taken any serious damage whatsoever. He ain't got, like most of the guys in the heavyweight division outside of Stipe, is got like straight knockout cold losses on their record from years and years, man. So this guy could be a champ for a long time, dude.
And he just started training like 4 years ago. This guy is getting better every day.
He was homeless and shit.
That's
man.
a scary, scary thing.
The story's good too. Like we haven't had a heavyweight. You got the Stipe everyday fire man and shit, but this is a different kind of story, man. It's seriously a guy that's came from some low down shit, man. And you're
Did
also
you guys hear like Dana talking about like how Ngannou trains at the Performance Institute and he stays there? Yeah. Do you think they just cleared out like a closet for him and are like, here you go, dude. You can just stay here and we'll just supplement you up properly and we'll coach you ourselves. And then at the end of the day, Dana just walks
building a Drago.
He just walks through just says good night, Francis. Good night, boss.
I mean, and think about that. This guy's from fucking France, man, where MMA's been outlawed and shit over there for ever. You know what I'm saying? So just imagine he's just been training at decent gyms for a few years now. It's pretty incredible where he's at, dude, this fast. I know I also read that they've registered a lot of people at that Performance Institute, their punching power, and nobody's registered anything higher than that dude, which...
it's a machine too that I think is used in other places. So it's the company. I don't know. You ever seen those punching machines? I've done some. They have recorded numbers. I don't know how that shit works.
It's not an exact science, of course, but it's not. It's not that he's. It's because he's a heavyweight fighting heavyweights knocking out guys. He's got legit power.
Nah,
yeah, sure, seems that way.
Nah.
So the next question is. We know Wes's answer here, but I'll start with New Sean because I don't know his answer here yet. who wins. They just announced on Wednesday that Stipe Miocic and Francis Ngannou will fight at UFC 220. So just 6 weeks after Ngannou's win over Reem, he will take on Miocic for the title. Dushan, does Ngannou win the title?
I mean, at this point, I have a hard time seeing him not knocking Stipe the fuck out. I mean, Stipe has been hurt. He doesn't have some iron chin. I mean, he was in rough shape against Overeem. He does have good boxing, but that power. I mean, I guess he could take down Ngannou, but I mean, Blades took him down. I mean, that wasn't much, and Blades was still early on in his career. But Stipe doesn't have like Kane's wrestling. Like I think Ngannou can definitely get up if he does get taken down, and who the fuck is going to be able to last standing with that guy?
Yeah, I think we're just at the point to where, like Sean just said, who can stand with him and take those shots for any amount of extended period of time? Stipe ain't really the kind of guy that uses wrestling a lot to take guys down. He usually gets guys up against the fence and works them over. I just can't see him doing that here either. Blades got him down, but I mean, Ngannou got like right back up. I think there was another fight to where he kind of got on the ground a little bit and kind of rolled and got right back up as well. So, I mean, I guess it could happen. And I think it's kind of a tough fight for 3 or 4 minutes. You know, he does have to keep Stipe from getting him down. But if he can do that, man, I mean, come on, dude. Stipe's been hurt before a couple times in fights. So I just can't see any way to where I think it's just like Reem. If Ngannou hits him with any kind of clean punch, he's in trouble. I think he wins. I think I'm going to be about 20 days off my prediction of Hawgannou being champ by the end of this year. 20 days off.
We'll get to that show where we review our champion picks, and we'll do our new champion picks. And I have a feeling some of us will have a similar answer in that regard.
Yeah.
But I'll ask both of you guys, looking ahead in this division 2-3 years down the line, assuming Ngannou and Miocic are still there, because they're still fairly young, at least for heavyweight, who do you think are others that could, who do you think are future title challengers at this point? Who do you see down the line?
Man,
I'm looking at the rankings, and it is a fucking rough list. There's just so many. You gotta look outside the rankings. I know, but like, who's any? Like, have we seen any decent heavyweights recently? So.
Yeah, there was.
A few names in mind that I'll share, but I want to hear your names first.
Let's see.
There was the guy, who was it? The Brazilian dude on a card a couple cards ago that showed a little.
Golm?
Yeah,
he only fought once though.
There's a couple. Maybe you got Tuivasa might be something. I know he's young, but I mean he's got that crazy chin, and he can. That guy's probably going to be a top 10 when all these old dudes retire.
Yeah, I tell you, the fight that's probably going to be right there if Ngannou wins, probably close to next year after another win, is probably Blades. I think Blades is going to be right there. I've been pretty impressed with him. He's a young heavyweight, got the wrestling. I don't think he can beat Ngannou if they fought again, but he's kind of a young, intriguing guy, But yeah,
heavyweight's tough, man.
Yeah, it's just, man.
We need
Rico.
The last 8 cards, just looking for heavyweights, and I mean the only guys maybe that Golm, and then you got Blades and you got Tuivasa. You got.
So you forgot one.
Else? Who you got, Jay?
Forgot one, and then there's one outside of the UFC that I'm thinking of. I bet Wes will agree as soon as I say it. But so yeah, definitely Blades. I think will be
San Rico.
We'll
Be a
get
mega
to that. Blade for sure. I think he'll be a top 5, top 7 guy pretty quickly. Just too big. He doesn't have the punching power that some of these other guys have, but the grappling is one of the best in the division. He's young. His gas tank ain't terrible. He'll be there. I like this guy Willis out of American Kickboxing Academy. He just fought this past weekend. Former college football player. He's he's not tall, but just like a wide frame. I try to remember his college football position, but I think he was a lineman. He was probably like 300, and now he's dropped down to, 265. He's really agile for that size, and it just kind of fits the profile. I mean, training with Cormier, it makes so much sense. Kind of under, like maybe 5'11", 6 feet tall, going to have that kind of stocky stature. He's got really, his conditioning is actually really good. I think he's one to watch, totally under the radar. And then the guy Wes mentioned. I mean, at some point, he's already done a few MMA bouts, but Rico Verhoeven is as good as any combat sports heavyweight that's around.
How old is Rico?
Like 28, 29.
Yeah, really young.
Yeah, he hasn't lost in. I think he's had like 1 or 2 losses in kickboxing, where they seem to fight like every other week.
He's got,
their
he's
division,
got a big fight coming up that he should smash.
Their division is about like MMA heavyweights, though. There's just like a handful of really good.
But he has been as consistent as anybody. He's got a great body for it. He's like 6'5". He's not overweight. It just fits. How he can adjust to the gloves is another issue. He doesn't get knocked out. He's got a great gas tank. He's super dangerous, and if he really wants to put his mind to it, there's zero doubt he can compete. Look how successful Overeem's been in this sport. There's been other kickboxers. Going back, with even if you want to go back with Hunt or with Mirko Cro Cop. There's obviously some sort of translation from kickboxing to mixed martial arts, and given just Rico's size and most importantly the cardio, I think is really the key to being able to push into like the upper echelon of MMA, because it's not like he's just going to be a 1-round pony and then people can take over and beat him. He's the type of guy you're going to have to go 20 minutes or 25 minutes with potentially get a win, and that's most heavyweights just can't do that. So those are the 3 names I think could potentially move into the especially if Verhoeven moves over. But the other 2 guys, I think they do have the ability at some point to, or at least there's something there, and they're both young that they potentially do something in the UFC and challenge. But we shall see.
Maybe Volkov. Volkov's only 29, but we've kind of seen.
But he's got the size though. That's interesting. Yeah. He's huge.
The only dude I think that's on the UFC roster right now that I would give any chance of beating Ngannou would be DC. That's the only guy.
That would be something.
That DC has a path to beat Ngannou, and he could absolutely beat him. That'd be the only guy on the roster that I would actually probably think about picking, because we know DC's got an iron fucking chin and probably the best wrestling in the sport. So that would be interesting.
What if Anthony Rumble Johnson came back?
I think Ngannou catches him, man.
Yeah, probably.
We still, I agree with our boy Sean Carey. We still have to see Ngannou get hit flush, but man, he's got a blockhead, dude. He's going to be able to take some glancing blows and shit. Of course, it's heavyweights. If he gets cracked, I just don't see a 220-pound Rumble Johnson. All the power that he does have.
Dude's pushing 280 now, Wes. Come on now.
Yeah.
Got the munchies like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
Anyway, so let's move on to. I don't think Nushan, you saw most of the card. You're out of pocket Friday.
Not on Friday, no.
But Wes and I will just talk about a couple of these bouts. Wes, is Andrew Sanchez really that bad? Jesus,
man,
Christ!
is he also not like
what is going on there?
Is he also like not a top 10 guy for 5 minutes? Like
he's definitely something for like the first 5 minutes. Like honestly, he is like a woman's worst nightmare. Like how can a woman ever be satisfied with Andrew Sanchez? I'm done. I'm done.
Dude, like he fucking put on a show, man. He's done it multiple fights, man. It's when I really like the guy, and then you can't trust this guy now. If you can't knock out fucking Ryan James with all the shit he landed, man, and there's few that's gassed like that, dude. There's few fighters I've seen literally just lose it after 5 minutes like that. Incredible.
Yeah. Eric Silva would be one of them.
Yeah.
And he may not be as bad.
Yeah.
He was actually facing like talented dudes. We're not talking about losing to like literally the last guy in the division. I mean, just terrible. Brett Johns and Joe Soto, we thought this would be a tactical, wrestling match that would go 3 rounds, and whoever got the best of the wrestling would win. And then it ends in 30 seconds by reverse calf slicer. Only the second one in the history of the UFC. If you don't remember, Charles Oliveira got that win over Eric. I'm trying to remember his name. It's going back like 5 years. He wasn't in the UFC very long. So Brett Johns and Du Bronx are the only 2 guys that have a calf slicer victory in the UFC. So,
and that's at like high level competition, because I've seen a few of them over the years, and I want to say there was one in Pride. There was like a couple in like Shudo and shit like that, but that's a totally different level of competition that like Brett Johns getting one of those off in today's MMA is really, really impressive.
Yeah, especially against a solid fighter like
yeah,
Soto.
Yeah, absolutely. I like Brett Johns. I think that kid can be something. He's pretty good.
Bad. He's not bad. But we need to see more. I'm gonna say this is a hot take, but I'll say it. I'm gonna say that Gerald Mearshurt's body kick KO is one of the is a dark horse contender for KO of the year. I mean, tell me a body. I mean, that was a thudding kick. Like a thudding kicks. Like
if it wasn't like, Doughboy,
was it Machida versus fucking shit sniffer? Good. Fucking CB. He looks like he's always smelling shit. You remember that kick though, right?
Oh, fart smeller CB. Holy shit.
Where Thiago Santos landed one on somebody at one point too. I forgot who that was. That was pretty vicious.
Body shot KOs are
maybe
just
Steve
always
good. Yeah, that was awesome. So for me, that was awesome. Wes, what did you think of Sean O'Malley's fight with Tyrion Ware?
Yeah, I mean, he's exciting, man. I thought,
doesn't give fucks, does he?
No, I threw a little bet on Tyrion Ware just because he was over 2-1, and that's how O'Malley is. He is still wild, but yeah, man, he's a fun fighter, dude. He's like kind of weird, you know what I'm saying?
Who does he remind you of on the feet? He's kind of Diaz-like to me, just his approach. Like I honestly don't think he gives 2 shits.
Well,
he's kind of
got
long,
kicks
gangly.
and shit though.
Yeah, I know. Like he's like it's more dynamic, but just the mental approach is very Diaz-like. I don't think he cares if he wins or loses.
No, I don't think he does it. But that's a good thing, man, because he's good though. You know what I'm saying? He can not care. He's good enough to not care and still perform and win fights. You're right. He's kind of got that I don't give a shit kind of Diaz, but he's got kicks and spinning kicks, just all kind of stuff. He's got a good personality too, man. He's like I say, he's kind of a weird dude. He's vegan, weed smoker, hippie type dude, which is just a different kind of cat that you see
in
MMA. And MMA. So he's got also has the little Snoop Dogg angle. As funny as you think it may sound, that's some pretty big shine on you. So yeah, I mean, the sky is the limit for O'Malley. Hopefully they match him up right. I think Dana likes the kid, so I think he's going to get some favorable matchups going forward, like they kind of do like they tried to do with Sage. I think O'Malley's going to be in that camp going forward.
I mean, Ware's not a bad fighter, but
no, he's tough. He's tough.
Just didn't have the variety that this kid had, and I was surprised how well he did in round 3 because I thought maybe he was tiring in the second round, but. Yeah, the output in this fight was sick. I think they combined for something like 275 significant strikes over 3 rounds. I mean, the two of them together, it was like something absolutely ridiculous. I'm going to look it up. I think I'm thinking of the right fight, but I'm going to look it up. Because that sounds incredible. Let me just take a quick look here. Not that many, but O'Malley had 141 significant strikes in the first in the 3-round fight. So 15 minutes, 141 significant strikes. So what is that, like 9? I think that's like 9 significant strikes a minute. That's like about as high of output you could possibly have. Tyrion Ware landed 88 significant strikes, by the way. Yeah. And then the main event, which, if you want to believe this, those two fighters combined for 318 significant strikes over 25 minutes.
Okay.
Not all strikes are created equal.
Yeah, not all those were O'Malley caliber strikes. I agree. I think the fighter that we thought should win, because, no disrespect to Roxanne Modafferi, remember when we first saw her on the bantamweight season of The Ultimate Fighter?
Yeah.
We all kind of laughed at her. She's kind of redeemed herself a little bit. Like,
she's not a great a bunch of chicks on that.
I would say
she's got a lot better.
She redeemed herself fully because she's gotten 10 times better for as long as she's been in the game, and to make the improvements she has over just the past 3 years, it's pretty incredible, dude. Because she was landing like legit strikes on chicks on that show. So props to Roxy. She definitely got way better. But you're right. The right person won here. But geez, man, the worst champion in UFC history. The worst.
Okay.
She's 4-2. Who the fuck is worse?
Yeah, even over Jermaine Ronda or whatever. I mean, she beat
Jermaine Durandame as legitimate.
She beat legit people to win. Yeah,
legitimate striking credentials, and she beat arguably Holly Holm to win that title, who obviously was,
Montano will lose in her very next fight. Period.
You know what? I honestly thought what they should have done here, and it would have been fair, is to have an actual
champion on the card or on the
or a tough winner, and let them fight against someone that they thought would be a championship caliber fighter.
Yep.
Because I agree, and my grades for both her, for Montano is like a B-, okay, like a B- champion. I mean, even Bisping was like a B+, okay. So yeah, by far my worst graded champion, and that's no disrespect to her, because I kind of like her style. Like, I think it's pretty grueling and it could be effective, but we kind of know who's going to be potentially fighting in this weight class. I mean, we can spoil it. I mean, this isn't talking out of school, but we're talking about potentially Jessica Andrade. We're talking about Valentina Shevchenko.
Good fighters.
Those two, potentially Joanna and Jacek. Probably Claudia Gadelha. They all those girls beat this girl
easily, easily beat her.
And then we're talking about even on the fight card coming up this weekend in Fresno, you have Alexis Davis and Liz Carmouche, who, quite frankly, are at a minimum would be extremely competitive with this girl, if not be favored in the bout to win.
Yep.
Even at their advanced, they're not like super old. I mean, Davis is older, but Carmouche, we're at that point, and you would think even if they start developing this division, they're probably going to be like 9th or 10th in the world or something along those lines, maybe even a little higher up. They weren't even – I don't think they're even really ranked at bantamweight anymore, and they're going to be moving down. I think they could have done a better job of developing this flyweight division. That's all I'm saying.
Or just not have it. That would be better. Right on.
Well, we don't have that choice, New Sean.
Well,
so.
That's what they should have done, not done it. More women's fights. That's what we need.
Can I just say that Colby Covington called the cops on Verdun? Just want to put that out there. Don't call the cops. Punk ass.
Come on, that's his that's his wrestling stick. That's what a heel would do. Would call the cops.
Like, seriously, how do people like this fucking douchebag? Like, seriously, and then he loses all credibility after calling the cops. You're like, period.
To real people,
Jesus.
But then people will say that's a wrestling. That's something they would do for wrestling to get heat. As a heel, you
certainly does get heat. We'll say that for sure.
Well, I tell you this, Kobe. Quit fucking ducking Usman. You want to be a badass. Quit ducking Usman. How about that?
Yeah, yep. I agree. Yeah, everybody should stop ducking Kamaru Usman, who is somehow ranked number 12 in the welterweight UFC. Who is voting? Who is voting? That is terrible. TERRIBLE. Terrible, terrible, terrible. There is no excuse for that. No excuse.
None. You don't watch fights if you have Usman 12th.
How are we reading this? I'm sorry. I can tell you who the top 10 fighters are in this weight class, within plus or minus error of one guy. Okay? He is better than pretty much all of them. Mm-hmm. You guys, you don't know what's going on. You have to go beyond, well, they beat this guy, so I should move them up.
Yeah, MMA math is
use your brain and come up with an opinion here, all right? I mean, just like saying Michael Bisping's the best fighter in the division because he's the champion. He never was, and exactly. Mm-hmm. I'm done with that. All right, moving on up. Let's move on. Move on to a better card. I'll we get to talk about some things here. This is going to be fun. Fight Pass part of UFC 218. The dude we were just talking about, Justin Willis, KO victory over Alan Crowder first round. Moving on up from there, another guy I like, Dominic Reyes, former college football player, subs Jeremy Kimball, first round. Then moving on up from that, Abdul Razak Al Hassan sort of beats Sabah Humasi by TKO, but they're booked to get the fight in 3 weeks. I'll let you talk about those three first, and then we'll get up to a fight that I want to talk about. All right, Wes, you're up first.
Yeah, I agree with you on Willis. I think in a really, really shallow division, he has some promise, training with good guys and shit. Reyes could be something as well, man. Especially, I think 205 is a little light as well. So, yeah, he could do something there. And, then, fuck, man, Herb was just really, really bad this entire card.
But this guy was losing anyway, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no doubt.
It was back and forth, but the tide was turning hard.
At that point, he had just got, like, pieced up and was backing up to the cage. And, they fucked up, but he was definitely losing up to that point. But yeah, it just seems like the officiating has been like pretty bad lately, and it really showed on this card as well. There was some pretty bad calls.
New Sean.
Yeah, I didn't watch the first two fights. I'll just touch on fucking Herb Dean. He gets fucking a pass because of history, but I ain't giving him no fucking pass. He's been terrible lately. He's fucked up a bunch of stuff. There was another fight on here that he put himself in, and he needs to get his shit together and get back on this game because there's plenty of other refs that are passing him by.
I'll give you two more exhibits on Herb Dean, okay? Chris Weidman and Luke Rockhold.
Yep.
That's Exhibit A. Exhibit B is the first Aldo versus Holloway fight.
Yep.
Where, again, in both cases, he allowed a beating to go on too long, especially in Weidman's case, where I think it really altered the rest of his career. It's at some point, and I liked Herb Dean. I mean, he makes some interesting decisions in the cage, but he's had some really bad moments. There is no way you can tell me John McCarthy is not better than him at this point. And you can name other guys too. Goddard's better. There's a few people that are better than him now. He is not. 3 years ago, people were probably saying that Herb Dean was the best referee in the sport, and he's not anymore. He's just not.
They were still saying that Saturday, but
they're wrong.
I will say that, like, I think those refs like Big John and Herb and them, they get complacent and they don't keep studying and they don't keep, practicing their craft when they're not in the cage. And Big John at one point was doing really, really bad. Like, he was making a ton of bad calls. But over the past couple years, I think you've seen, like, he teaches the classes now and certifies guys and shit. He's gotten way better. Like, he's turned around. He doesn't make as many bad calls, because there for a while, a couple years ago, Big John was doing the shit Herb was doing. So I think those guys get a little complacent and shit, and they need to practice their craft all the time, like fighters do as well. So,
because I think Big John reffed the Friday card, right? And he took a point from somebody for grabbing the cage, if I remember correctly.
Yep. Loved it.
As he should.
Yep.
Absolutely loved it.
And then the fight ended up being a
that.
draw because of it, right? If I remember correctly, or something like that.
I could. Somebody said on there, it was Sean, that, like, give them a serious warning, put them on the mat for the first one, and then the second would take a point. I like that a little bit better, but I love that he took a point. I think he just was setting a tone for the rest of the night, that if you're going to grab the cage, I'm taking points tonight.
Which didn't pass over to the next night, but whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It needs to be more uniform for sure, because with shit as close as it is, man, one cage grab stopping a takedown and you being on your back could win a round. I mean, it literally changes the complexity of an entire fight. One cage grab. That shit needs to start costing more, like a lot more. That point was excellent.
Agreed. Now, I'm going to ask you guys a question. In 2017, wardrobe malfunction.
Titties.
Is there any fighter in the UFC who you think would have a higher chance of having a wardrobe malfunction than Angela Magana?
Felice Herring. That's about it, right?
She's legitimate now. Have some respect.
I don't know. The funny thing about that is they showed, because that was on Fight Pass, that's why. Fuck, I was going to say that they showed that, but then on Fight Pass they weren't showing Herrig and Casey throwing the bird to each other. I thought that was kind of hilarious, but...
Bunch of losers.
Yeah.
Somehow...
Let's not waste our
Someone
time.
needs to tell me how... I'm looking at the fight stats here. Amanda Cooper, they're saying, outstruck Angela Magana 40-12 in this bout. That doesn't seem right. That has to be a mistake.
Yeah, Magana definitely did not land 12 times.
Yeah,
Cooper definitely landed way more than
way more than 40. Yeah, no doubt.
This was a one-sided
Smashing
beating. That probably should have been after round 2, if it even made it to the second round, 2 10-8s at a minimum. Maybe a 10-7 in the second round. It was brutal.
Magana wanted more. She wanted more.
So, yeah, I know. There was no service dog.
Hey, like I said, I'd have made the service dog minus 500 against Magana. At least, dude.
I would have made the service dogs puppies minus 500. Like 4-day-old puppies.
Oh, man.
I mean,
in a row or something. How do they have these people? Like, some of the fighters, they can't get in the UFC, and you have fucking, like, this chick employed.
Who hasn't fought in 2.5 years and just got a one-sided beating?
I fucking told you
There
guys.
There is zero excuse.
My God.
Zero excuse.
Her and Caitlin Curran have tapes of fucking Dana doing some sketchy shit to women. That's the only way they are in the fucking UFC. Dana's trying not to get outed with all these other celebrities, so he's still giving these
Curran's
chicks some
actually,
fights.
at least Curran's actually been in fights. Magana has been beaten and beaten and beaten. Has Magana won a round in the UFC? 1 round? No. There's zero excuse if she's still employed after this one. Zero. But we'll find out in no time. Anyway, moving on up to the preliminary card. Felice Herrig defeated Courtney Casey by split decision. David Tamer defeated Drakkar Klose by decision. We'll touch on those two first because the other two bouts probably deserve their own spotlight. Wes, we'll start with you.
Yeah, Felice Herring and Courtney Casey was kind of fun. I don't enjoy too many, women's MMA fights, but I thought that fight was pretty fun. I thought the right person won. I did bet Herring, but so a little biased, but I thought the right person won. Yeah, that shit got kind of funny. I mean, they were flicking each other off. Old girl was slinging fucking blood fucking globs at old girl. Yeah, it was wild. It was pretty fun for a women's MMA fight. And I think this David Tamer kid, man, is pretty fucking good, dude. Very, very impressed with the win over Close, because I think Close is pretty good. But our boy with the inside info kind of told me that Close kind of feels himself in the gym and shit. So
does that surprise you at all?
No, you can see it written all over
the
him.
way you fought. Fuck.
Yeah. Yep, you can see it written all over.
Come get me. What do you mean you're moving your feet?
Yeah, like cut off the cage, you dummy.
Yeah, no, that's another thing. Like the ref, whoever
that
was
Herb
reffing
Dean
that
again.
guy,
It was fucking
getting
Herb
involved
Dean.
in that, dude. Like that's
fuck
not your
here.
job to tell people to engage. He needs to cut off the fucking cage if he wants to engage. There's a thing called counter fighting and counter punching, moving around the cage. That's not on Tamer to fucking engage with Close. But besides that, I think Tamer's good, man. He's really impressed, man, since coming off that tough season, dude. So he's over. I always like to see guys get over in the States, man, and get some better wrestling training. I know it's gotten better over there. He is at probably the best camp in that area at All Stars. But I'd like to see him get over in the States, North America, and get a little bit better training. But yeah, man, only 8 fights in. I think David Tamer could be pretty good.
New Sean.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with Wes. I did not think Harrigan Casey was good, but I'm an asshole, so that could be why.
A chauvinist pick.
Yeah,
hey, dude,
like
you got to grade that shit. You got to grade that shit on a curve. Come on, man.
And fucking Herb Dean being a fucking plug again by inserting himself. Like, Drakkar Close has to put his hands up and gets pissed off that he doesn't know how to cut off the cage, and that's fucking Tamer's fault because he's a counter striker. Get fucked. And yeah, Tamer's good. That takedown defense was on point, and he's a very good striker. I like him coming up and doing some things.
Yeah, Harrigan, I think of the female fighters on the roster, outside of Rose Namajunas, I'd say that Harrigan's improved as the most of any of them. Considering what she was when she got kind of like a one-sided beating to Paige Van Zandt. She's become a pretty smart fighter. Whether it's a point fighter, whether it's just doing enough to win, it's been very effective. She has some solid wins. From Casey to Grasso. There are some solid victories on her resume at this point, and she's 33 years old. So she's got wins. 4 wins. We were not going to count the current win, but she's beaten Grasso. Kish has been overrated. And now Casey, 4 wins in a row in the UFC. That's not the easiest thing to do. So, like I said, I respect that. And I'm with these guys. I think Tamer's really good. Really good striker. Kind of can, avoid the ground. His ability to to counter and to re-scramble once taken down is pretty awesome. I think this guy is going to be a top 15 lightweight, if not higher. I think he'd be the first Swede to be ranked that high in the lower weight classes. Obviously, there's some guys that we like the Horse God and Gustafsson in the heavier weight classes from Sweden who have been effective. But I think Tamer will be the first of the lighter type of Swedish fighters to really make his mark. He's got 4 straight wins in the UFC. Venata and Closa back to back are not bad wins against kind of different types of fighters. So he showed he could beat different types of talent. Next fight on the card. It seems like folks like this fight more than the one that was on the main card. I don't know if I agree, just because it didn't mean as much. I mean, it was certainly exciting, but Yancy Montero's outlasting Cowboy which resulted in us losing our consensus bet by TKO in the third round. News Sean, I know you were, your pants were flying around on the ceiling fan for this one. So, talk to us about it.
Yeah, this is a wild ass fight. I really thought that Cowboy was going to get him out there. That punch that Medeiros landed and broke Cowboy's nose really changed the fight. I think that drained Cowboy's cardio and just wasn't able to make him be able to finish. Medeiros is so fucking tough, and he's got that cardio. So if you don't get him out of there, he's still dangerous. We saw that in the Gran Petronaldo fight. Even after just getting smashed for 2.5 rounds, he was still there, and he made a bit of a comeback in that third round. Yeah, that was a tough one. I had money on Cowboy. I thought he was gonna be able to get him out of there, but shit happens. I would probably bet Cowboy again at -200 in that fight. I think that broken nose did affect the outcome.
Wes?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with what Sean said. Yeah, Yancey, man, there's something in that island water, man. Those Hawaiians are just fucking, they're built different, dude. They're some tough motherfuckers. But I totally agree with Sean. I think the broken nose, it happens. I mean, Yancey did it, so props to him, but that completely changed the fight. And I still think that, I mean, Cowboy got a takedown and a back take to start the third, and something happened. Like,
that was a weird finish, man. It's just all of a sudden, I don't know if he honestly might have stopped being able to see or something, because he just, like, it didn't seem like he got hit with anything, and he just, like, cradled up. It was weird.
He just, I don't know, maybe he was sucking blood or something, couldn't breathe anymore. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But something happened, because he, like I said, he got a takedown in the back to start the third and just kind of quit, got swept, and then it was over. Yeah, the broken nose changed a lot of things. I'd bet Cowboy again in a second in that fight. But yeah, crazy good fight. Still, I think the one later on the card is just better. Like Jay said, means more technical. But this was a great fight.
Agreed. Very good fight. I just don't know what real meaning it has. I mean, I guess it makes Medeiros look a little bit better than he is. He's kind of like a zombie kind of a dude, and never seems to go away, which certainly makes him dangerous. But I think it makes people think he's better than he is. He's really not that good because he gets hurt a lot, but he just somehow figures out a way to survive.
As long as his body is standing, he's in a fight. It's one of those dudes. And unless
you can kind of just take him down repeatedly, you could have a little bit of trouble, because he's like that guy who just keeps on coming. He's like an Energizer bunny. And that certainly has its merits. 0-2 card for us, not the best. Do Bronx plus money has a good chance to submit somebody and actually doesn't, and then just gets elbowed into oblivion by Paul Felder, by a commentator, Paul Felder. Wes,
man, I was counting my money like 1 minute into that fight. I was counting my money. I was like, "This is done. This is over with." I don't know how Felder survived. I don't know how you get Oliveira on you like that for like 3 minutes and he doesn't finish a choke. I guess it wasn't a guillotine, you know what I'm saying? So it's a little different. He finishes every one of those, but man, just something that Felder kept moving, man. He just kept moving. And then I will say this, though. I think the Oliveira quit shit is just completely overblown now. Oliveira doesn't quit in fights anymore. He had that one fucking time, and you don't know if he didn't feel something in his neck in that fight. You know what I'm saying? Just because nothing showed up afterwards. And I've clowned on him, too. I think we all have. He's found ways out in fights when he was losing, but he didn't quit against Pettis. He didn't quit against Felder.
He's just a dude that goes fucking hard for finishes, and if he doesn't get it, then he's in trouble. I'm sure his arms were just fucking done after trying to get.
And I call him smart. Yeah. Why sit there and take 70 elbows to the fucking head when you can hey, I'm fucking done, you know? I just he didn't find a way out here, and I just think that's a little overblown now. People, MMA Twitter gets on something, and they just never let that shit go. But yeah, man, good win for Felder. Him staying out of that choking shit was not getting sub was impressive, and then that ground and pound was just that was fucking brutal. I don't know who refed that fight.
Dan Mergulata, another fucking winner right there. Hell of a night for the refs.
He let Oliveira take a beating that was far unnecessary. Those
6 elbows without any fucking defense up.
Yeah, bad ones too. Not no grazing. They were literally hammers to the side of the head. So yeah, the refs were just straight garbage on this card.
No, Sean, do you have anything else to add, or we're good to go here?
No, just props to Felder. I mean, if you tell me that I got Do Bronx at plus money and he has a choke locked in the first fucking round, I'll take that any day. But Felder fought through it and turned the tide and smashed. Not much.
Yes, it's got to mean something moving forward, but we'll see how much. Tisha Torres up on the pay-per-view card starts it off with the decision win over Waterson. Personally, I thought Torres would be more dominant than she was. I mean, she had a good round 3, but the first 2 rounds were really competitive. I don't think that she can beat the top 2 or 3 fighters in this weight class. I think she's too small, to cause that kind of a threat. Do either of you guys disagree?
Nope, but it was an easy win, especially at minus 110 that I got it at.
Yeah, that's a joke of a price.
I got that opener too and was pretty surprised. But yeah, Tisha's just way too small. She got bodied by Waterson in this fight a lot. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, she's going to get manhandled by girls in this division, the top girls.
Now let's move up to a fight that, Eddie Alvarez, Justin Gaethje. We knew this would be a bloodbath. It was everything, right? I mean,
better.
It was. It was
better.
It was Gotti Ward, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I know New Sean doesn't agree, but I thought this fight, with its meaning and purpose, I mean, it was. I think it might be the best fight of the year. It was nonstop and relentless, and there was just heavy shots being thrown every way. And Eddie Alvarez actually finishes Justin Gaethje for the first time in Gaethje's career, takes a knee, a vicious flush knee that just sent him to the mat. And even Gaethje somehow still continues fighting somehow, some way, but the referee's nah, this is over. And Alvarez gets the win, and looking like we'll see the rematch with Dustin Poirier, which I think a lot of people are looking forward to some point in the spring. Wes, thoughts on this one and its potential for fight of the year?
Yeah, man. First thing, I feel I'm gonna hate to see Gaethje in about 10 years, man. Seriously, he's gonna be really, really bad off, and it's gonna be sad.
Like Diego Sanchez?
Nah, I mean he's worse, dude. Yeah, probably worse, man. But yeah, as far as this fight, dude, I mean, I don't know what more you can ask for in an MMA fight. Seriously, the back and forth, Eddie's leg hurt and just all kind of it had everything that you could ask in a fight, man. And I think Eddie looked as good as he's looked in a while, man. He fought so smart, dude. He stayed tight. His striking was on point. And Gaethje still, man, we knew Gaethje was going to throw the leg kicks and it was going to be a weapon. And fuck yeah, it was, because Alvarez's leg was fucking purple. I don't know how Eddie's jaw wasn't broken. The dude looked like he had a fucking dip in like Lance. I mean, it was just crazy. I don't see how his jaw wasn't broken. I don't know what happened to him, but yeah, dude, I mean, it's up there. We've had some pretty good fights this year, but I mean, it's got to be, right up there. I think it was round 1, the first round, or maybe the second round was just insane. One of the best rounds of the year. Great fight, man. And I think Eddie against Poirier will be something special again too.
Why not, right?
Yeah, those two dudes are just complete violence. So,
can we make that 5 rounds? I mean,
let's get that as a main event on a fight night somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So
why? Like, can we stop screwing around with the 3-round thing? I mean, some fights deserve to be 5 rounds, right?
We thought I've seen a lot of people saying that, like, oh, we needed Alvarez Gagey to be 5 rounds. It's like, probably saying that before, but it still ended perfectly. You know what I'm saying? To where we didn't even have to discuss it. So, man, great fight. And looking forward to seeing Eddie against Poirier again. That's going to be awesome.
New Sean, thoughts on this slugfest?
It's an awesome fight. I don't know who said that I didn't like this fight.
No, you're saying that Medeiros Oliveira was better, significantly better.
Oh, I didn't think it was significantly better. I thought it was a little more action packed, but this one obviously was worth way more. I mean, if Gaethje would have won, I would assume he's right there for a title. This surprised the hell out of me. I gave Alvarez little to no chance. That body work that he put in really slowed down Gaethje. And Gaethje still almost, won. He had, I mean, I guess he was down two rounds, so he was losing.
Maybe.
He had
Did the scorecards?
I think
scorecards ever come out?
It was even on 2 of the cards, and then maybe Eddie
Alvarez
was up 2 on one of the cards. I'm pretty sure.
That's interesting.
Don't quote me on that, but I just thought Gaethje would have more. I thought he really did not protect his body. I mean, that's just his style. But I mean, maybe now we've seen the blueprint. I mean, it's going to take a crazy bastard to be able to implement that game plan again. But I mean, you definitely got to smash him to the body, I think, to slow him down. And yeah, very impressive from Eddie Alvarez, and Gaethje. He's still a violence warlord.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a gift from the gods, isn't he?
Eddie fought smart, man. I think if you keep it tight like that, and like Sean said, work the body.
But who's capable of doing that?
And
not many.
That too.
Not many. Hey,
you have to be able to take it. That's the thing, right?
Michael Johnson had Gaethje in some bad spots too, man.
Yeah, but he can't take it.
That's it. It's going to take a special guy to stay past that threshold. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to have to go to the brink with Gaethje every fucking time. You could put Gaethje against a lot of guys, man. He's, however long we
Diaz would be interesting, I don't know.
Jeez, yeah. There's a lot of matchups
for Gaethje. Fuck out of Diaz. That's the issue there.
Yeah. We've seen Nate have problems with leg kicks in the past.
That is true. Anyway, I'll enjoy every single fight that guy's in.
Yep.
Till the end of time. I just hope we get a few more of those.
Before he falls off.
But not too many, if you know what I mean.
When Gaethje falls off, he's gonna fall hard.
Yeah, that'll suck.
Yeah.
I don't wish that on anybody, but he is a real gift to entertainment. When that dude's fighting, I mean, there's really not much better things going on in the world. Anyway, it sucked for this fight to be where it was on the fight card.
Right after that shit.
It wasn't really fair. And just where this line just ended up and the whole scenario of how it was developed, one of the worst lines of the year, right?
Who fucking thought that Pettis had a shot at fucking Cejudo?
Who played Pettis? I mean,
Jesus.
It dropped. Somebody did.
He was taken down in that fight, too, by Moreno. Did anyone think that it could stop a takedown of Henry Cejudo's?
No.
No. The only reason this fight wasn't 30-25 is because Cejudo didn't want it to be 30-25.
Who thought he could outstrike Henry Cejudo? Like, where did you see Pettis winning this fight? Like, seriously.
Yeah. I don't get it. There's no point in spending any time on it. Henry Cejudo's the second best fighter in the division.
Yep.
Take
Sergio
the gifts
Pettis,
the betting gods give you every once in a while.
Minus 200 is one of those gifts.
Nagano, we talked about. We know where that's going. We'll talk about that again at the beginning of the year when he looks like he's going to be fighting for the title. And then we basically saw, I mean, I don't need to pat myself on my own back, but if you go read my preview over MMAOddsBreaker.com of this fight, I said it would basically be the same thing we saw in the first fight, and it certainly was. Aldo tried to come out a little slower to try to conserve his gas tank, but it just wasn't meant to be. I mean, maybe the weight cut took a toll. He's just not the same. He's just not the same caliber fighter.
And he's also fighting an absolute fucking Terminator.
I think Otto's his cardio actually looked pretty decent here. He just got beat. I mean, the damage is what slowed him and stopped him.
Holloway just keeps coming forward and hits you so much, and anytime he gets hit, it doesn't even phase him. He doesn't even flinch.
What's crazy is I think Otto.
Max Holloway landed 174 significant strikes.
It's how good
Eddie Alvarez
Otto is still really good.
in his fight, by the way.
Otto is still really good. That guy's still amazing, dude. Otto could beat fucking 99% of the division, dude. Max Holloway is just going to be an all-time great, period. Yep. Otto is still really good. I would still fucking take Otto over most guys at 145. Max Holloway's just a different cat, man. He's going to be an all-time great. That dude is something special.
Yep.
Let me just read off these significant strike numbers to you guys. You won't even believe this number. You can't even believe this number. He landed 25 significant strikes in the first round. Okay, 25. So, okay, five a minute. 41 significant strikes in the second round. So that's like 8 a minute. 108 significant strikes in the third round.
For the kill.
20
guys are slow.
20 significant strikes a minute. I've never even heard of that before.
Yeah,
and the body
never even heard of that before.
The body was sick,
and it wasn't even a full 5-minute round. I mean, there were still 9 more seconds. Would have landed a few more. That's unbelievable. I mean, no, it's not happening. He's got the perfect match. If he can keep the fight standing, which he certainly seems to be able to do at this point. He hasn't. What's he been? I'm looking at it now. Let me just look up Holloway here, just so for reference sake. Holloway's been taken down. Holloway hasn't been taken down in a fight since he fought. Is that right? Since he fought Andre Feely in 2014. Okay, so that we're talking. Actually, no. Clay Collard took him down once when they fought in 2014. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 straight fights he hasn't been taken down. For a guy when he first started who many didn't consider to have great takedown defense, it's
a fish on the ground.
It's pretty it's pretty fucking good.
It's going to get tested next time, though.
It's 83% takedown defense. It's somehow significant strikes per minute. It's still 6.2. Seems like it's going to go up as time goes on, though. It's pretty masterful. I've been saying it. He ain't going to lose this decade. I mean, this decade's we got, 2 years away? I don't see it. Nobody in the immediate future, I think, has the ability to do so.
If you think that McNutty can drop to 145 and go 3-4 rounds with Max Holloway, you're a fucking idiot.
Yep.
Well, it won't happen at that weight class.
That's where the belt's at. It's a different story at 155. I would absolutely totally reevaluate the fight at 155. At 145, Conor McGregor cannot beat Max Holloway now.
Nope.
I would put a lot of money on that.
Unfortunately, that'll never happen.
Yeah, we'll never see.
I mean,
Connor's not going to fight again, so we don't have to worry about him fighting. Period. So.
I'm leaning that way. I think if Conor ever fights again, it's going to be in a boxing ring again. Honestly,
or it's going to be against George St. Pierre in an MMA fight.
Yep.
That seems to be the most. I think that's the most likely scenario. To be honest, you guys. But in regards to Holloway, in terms of 2018. He'll fight Edgar at some point. He'll fight the winner of Ortega and Cub Swanson. And he'll probably fight someone else. I'm not even sure who, quite frankly, who's going to be around. Because, I mean, Chad Mendes is returning at some point in 2018, but I don't think he's going to get there right away. He's going to have to kind of reestablish himself.
Don't fast track Zabin on us either. Do not fucking fast track Zabin on us.
Well, that's interesting.
Let that dude get a couple years though, please. Do not.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
There's not going to. I guess. My guess is Zabit's fighting for a title like early next year.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Like not
but
early,
he's not
like 2019, not 2018.
He's gonna be pushed. He's gonna lose, and he's gonna build himself back up. And then that run, I think he's got a chance. He's just gonna get pushed way too early. I agree there. You're probably right. Early next year.
Isn't he older than Holloway? Like I know there's a huge.
Yeah, he's already
like
30. Yeah, I think he's already
28.
close to 30. I think.
Yeah,
Might be 28. 28 sounds right.
Yeah.
That's interesting. If I had to say somebody, that's interesting.
He went three
crazy,
fast-paced rounds, man. But Holloway's a different animal, man. He's a different fucking dude. It's an interesting fight down the road, though.
Yeah, that is. Let's move up to Fresno, California. If I could tell you where in California Fresno is, yeah, you win a prize.
A little north.
Yeah, a little north, right?
Yeah, past all the good shit.
Is it in like Sons of Anarchy country? I don't know.
Yeah, it's pushing that way. You're getting up towards Stockton and shit like that. Yeah,
to the big trees. Yeah. Anyway, UFC Fight Night 123 at something called the Save Mart Center. Not a terrible card overall. There's definitely there's probably 3 or 4 really interesting bouts on this card, and then some guys that I'm pretty high on that I think have favorable matchups. I'd like to see them tested more, but I think it's good for them to kind of be able to showcase their skills. One of those guys that actually is in the first fight on the card, Fight Pass part, Trevin Giles taking on the Brazilian. I think he's returning after like 2+ years, Antonio Braga Neto. Wes, I know you're not a fan of Brazilians coming to the U.S. on 2 years layoff.
It's actually 3.5 years.
Yeah, it's almost
Jesus
4.
Christ, it's half a decade.
Yeah,
and the fight he had 4 years ago got beat by Clint fucking Hester.
He fought at UFC Fight Night 44, and we're on Fight Night 123.
Wow. 80 fight nights later. Holy cow. Wow, you're up first.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot on the Brazilian here. I went back and watched that one fight. He lost to Clint Hester, gassing out and shit. I think Trevin Giles is pretty decent, man. He's big, he's athletic, but yeah, he should get it done here.
Is he a
man.
BSG?
He's close. He's close.
He's not that big.
There's a BSG. There's a BSG coming up on the card, though.
Yeah.
Later.
You can bet Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys coming off almost a 4-year layoff. Giles should win this fight, and I think the minus 225, minus 250 is a decent parlay piece.
New Sean.
Yeah, I got nothing special in this fight. 3.5 years is a fucking eternity. Like, I wonder what was going on in the UFC in June of 2014. It's a completely different world. I don't know what the hell he's been doing or why he's been out, but I'll pick Giles. No bet, though.
Yeah, Giles, I got graded. Yeah, let me pull up the grade. Sorry about that. I got Giles, a C-, Neto, D+. Don't know really much what you get from Neto. I mean, he's got a pretty good submission game, but he's been out forever. Is he still at that same level? Hard to imagine he is. Giles, 25 only, athletic, can strike, can wrestle. Looks like he could be something in this weight class. I think he's one of the better prospects. in this division. I think he wins. And he'll do so pretty convincingly. Should be by finish. I haven't bet it yet, but I think he's probably a decent bet on this card. And then maybe the inside the distance might be the way to go, just to get a little more value on the better fighter, the younger fighter, the more athletic fighter. I think you get it. Next fight up on this card, Davy Ramos, Brazilian, another versus American matchup against former TUF alumnus Chris Grutzemacher. Wes.
Yeah, this is, I don't know, Ramos should win this fight, man. But this line to me is just, it's getting a little crazy, dude. I mean, minus 360 on a marginal fighter. Grutzemacher ain't great or anything, man. I know he's moving back up in weight. He wasn't a huge 145, but maybe he just didn't like the cut or something. Who knows? But I just think this line's a little crazy. I'll probably sprinkle on Grutzemacher at plus 300. He'll be a Talmaster pick, but Ramos should win this fight. All things being equal, I don't see how you lay minus 360 on a guy like this. But more power to you if you do.
Nushan.
The line on Ramos doubled. It opened minus 180 and
why
minus 360.
I could see bet minus 180, but fuck, 360?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't get it.
It's definitely a tout master pick, but I am not putting any money near Chris Grutzemacher.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose it, but you know.
I got Ramos D plus, Grutzemacher a D. This is one of the fights I really don't care too much for on this card. I don't really think either is going too far at all. Probably each fight a few times in the UFC and then eventually get cut out. But this guy shouldn't be plus 300 in this bout. He might lose early. I mean, I guess anything's possible, but the original line is probably where, that kind of makes sense. It's kind of in the realm. Ramos is coming from Brazil, facing a guy that's got a pretty decent gas tank, nice rangy length fighter as well. He doesn't deserve to be 3-1 underdog in this bout. We'll just leave it at that. Next bout up, Fight Pass. I guess we'll call it the lead fight on Fight Pass. Alejandro Perez, Mexican fighter from TUF Latin America, facing longtime Brazilian veteran Yuri Alcantara. Wes, is this going to be another one of his Alcantara's classic disappointments?
Choke job.
I'm hoping so. I'm kind of betting on that. I mean, Yuri should win this fight. He's the more talented guy, but I mean, he's 37, man, pushing 38 years old. We've seen him just blow so many fights, man. Not so many, but he's done some dumb shit in fights, and he gasses a little bit in the second and third, and he starts getting sloppy. And Perez is a tough dude that's going to come for 3 rounds. I'm taking a little shot here at the plus 175. Like I said, Yuri should win this fight, but that line's kind of off, man. We've seen him. We've kind of seen this show before against a tough guy that's going to bring it all 3 rounds. So I'll pay to see if Yuri do dumb shit again.
Nushan.
Yeah, I think this is a fairly close fight. I think Perez can survive, the first round. But Alcantara is pretty skilled. I'm kind of eyeing up the over 2.5. It's minus 120. I know there's been a couple fights, the last 3 that Alcantara's have went under one way or another, but before that he had a bunch of decisions, and I think Perez has good enough defense that he can kind of not get finished in the first and make it a tougher fight, and it should sail on to the decision. So I will likely play the over 2.5, and I'll pick Perez because I need to make some dog points in Tout Master real bad.
Real bad. I got Alcantara as C, Perez a D plus. Alcantara is way more talented. He's certainly older, and he's known to make some real boneheaded decisions. So you just can't trust him with your money. I'll leave it at that. No bets for me. Moving up to the televised portion of the card, Frankie Saenz returning to the octagon, facing newcomer Merab Dvalishvili. Yeah.
Frankie's on the signs.
All right, Wes, you're up first.
Yeah, man. If Saenz wasn't getting up there in age, man, and just coming off the couple fights that he has, plus money here is just kind of tempting. I know we talked about it before the show, but I don't know. I just don't know enough about however the fuck you pronounce his name. I'm not even going to try with my thick ass accent. He hasn't fought much, man, but he's at a really, really good camp that's just turning out really good fighters right now. And man, Saenz he got devastated by Wineland, and the Mendez loss wasn't horrible or anything, but he's just getting up there in age, man. He's still a tough out, though, so I don't know. I know he's coming down a little bit. A little money's coming in. If he would have went the other way, I'd have probably took a small shot. I'll probably see what the line does, but he'll be another Toutmaster pick because it's getting down to the end.
New Sean.
I kind of understand the line. I mean, Saenz has lost 3 in a row. Granted, they are against pretty good fighters. Dvalishvili, his entire career has been in some pretty high level, like smaller orgs, Ring of Combat, CFFC, CES. Like he's in the upper echelon of small orgs. So I don't know many of the guys that he's fought, but I would assume they're decent compared to some of these shitty organizations. And he is at a good camp. He's at Serra Longo, so he's getting some good coaching. So I can understand the line. No bet for me. I don't really see much of an edge, and I might take the newcomer Dvalishvili.
Wow. I got Saenz a C. I haven't done a full grading of Dvalishvili yet, so you can look for that on MMAOddsBreaker.com. I'll leave that there at this point. Moving farther up on the card,
It's Carl's Jr. Dave Thomas.
Thomas, yeah.
We got our favorite fast food fighter. He might as well be Ronald McDonald. Carl's Jr. Dave Thomas, boys. Woohoo! Where's Brad when we need him? Where's Brad? Facing off against somebody named Alex Perez. I mean, can anybody that's a semblance of a fighter should be able to beat a fast food guy, right? I mean, really, right? White Russ? I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to think of this fight, man. They got Perez at minus 400 now, though. There's just some of these lines are kind of crazy, man. On just on dudes that are okay fighters. I don't know. We saw his fight on the Tuesday night stuff, and he looked pretty decent, man. But minus 400 here. I know it's Carl's Jr. Dave Thomas, but still minus 400 here. I guess he gets it done, man. But this will probably be another one to where I have to pick Carl's Jr. and Toutmaster and hope to make up some points here. But I can't bet this fight whatsoever.
Sean.
Yeah, Perez opened minus 260, and it was right around mid to high 200s for a while, and then all of a sudden it just got smashed down to minus 400. People betting money on these guys. I don't know. Props to them. Maybe they know something that we don't. Maybe Perez goes out there and smashes some Carl's Jr. Dave Thomas. I don't know. I'll pick Perez. He should win, but minus 400. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got Carl Jr. to D-. I don't have a full grade on Perez yet. Like Wes, I've seen him fight on the Contender Series. He's certainly better than Dave Thomas, but minus 400 for a debuting fighter is about as high as I can remember for, unless it was like a new division, for a fighter coming into a division that's already existed in the UFC and be a favorite. That is pretty surprising. Maybe outside of Cyborg, even, yeah. So I don't know about that. That just seems like that just seems steep for a debutant, but I guess we'll see what happens. Fight I know we want to talk about. Luke Sanders returning, facing off against Andre Soupcanthai.
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 What? Why?
We need Brad tonight.
Yeah, Brad with the Soupcanthai.
This is Brad's call.
Wes, you can go first.
I don't really have much to say on this fight, man.
Other
Luke
than
Sanders
the line is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, Luke Sanders is going to take this dude down and smash him. I don't see how Luke Sanders isn't the minus 400. Alex Perez is minus 400 on this card, and Luke Sanders is minus 230. I don't understand it. I'll have Luke Sanders in a few things. I just do not see how Soupcanthai does not get taken down repeatedly and smashed here. I mean, Sanders was just whooping Alcantara all over the cage last time and, got caught in that dumb shit. It happens. Soupcan doesn't have that. I mean, he's a marginal kickboxer is pretty much what he is. Sanders wins this fight easily, and I'll have quite a bit on him.
New Sean.
Yeah, this line is baffling to me. Before that Alcantara fight, we thought pretty damn highly of Luke Sanders. I still do. Young guys do get caught in some situations. He was absolutely smashing Alcantara. Soupcanthai is nowhere near Alcantara. I mean, this guy is losing to Albert Morales and Alejandro Perez, which, I mean, they aren't terrible fighters, but he's not good. Luke Sanders should smash. I got him in my parlay at minus 230. Big.
I got Sanders to C plus, whatever they call him, a D plus. Sanders is a future top 15 bantamweight. He can absolutely grapple. His striking is way underrated. He's got good movement, good gas tank. I mean, he's better in every facet of MMA. This is a bout he should win and do so in a dominating fashion, whether that's by a wide decision or by finish. Quite frankly, I don't care. Sanders wins. I'll be betting him. I haven't done it yet, except for a show. Sanders will be the first leg of our MMA analysis consensus bet of the week. The idea is to get back on the positive note after last week's yucky results. And I think we'll do so. At least we'll get the first leg right. I think we're on a good page there. Preliminary headliner: Liz Carmouche returning, Alexis Davis returning, but the flyweight. Why is somebody favored in this fight, Wes? Like, why is this not a pick'em? Am I missing something here?
Yeah, we kind of talked about it before the show that you're looking at just about the same fighter here, pretty much. Both around the same age, both around the same experience in the sport, fought a lot of the same competition. I think it should be pretty close to just flip a coin here. I don't really know how you pick a winner here. I'll pick whoever is the dog in Top Master. I think it goes the distance for sure. I don't know if I'll have any money on that, but that's about the only angle I'm looking at in this fight. And like I said, the dog, whoever's the dog, will be the pick for me in Top Master.
You, Sean.
You know the deal. I laid goes the distance at minus 185. I laid it for for all I could get on it, and yeah, I don't care who wins. I'll like Wes, I'll pick the dog. It's Alexis Davis at plus 155 right now.
Yeah, I got them both at B minus. It's very hard to differentiate them. So I'm kind of surprised by the dog line. Maybe Carmouche is physically a bit stronger, but Alexis Davis is has the better submission skills. I think just Carmouche has to just avoid the submissions, and she probably gets the result. On the feet, I would give Alexis Davis a little bit of an advantage, but again, not my favorite fight on the card. I don't think it's going to be that entertaining, and it'll be, be a little bit of a back and forth bout, and probably whoever ends up in top position the longest will get the win. So yeah, televised portion of the card, we got Albert Morales debuting he's returning, facing off against debutant Benito Lopez, who came from the Contender Series. Wes, pick 'em fight. What do you think?
It's just that I'm still going back and forth here. I'll probably look at this fight a little bit more before Saturday. I'm leaning Benito here, just slightest. I think that win over Steve Peterson on the Contender Series was a pretty good win for him. Steve, the Superman tattooed chest kid, that dude's pretty good. He's had a pretty decent career on the lower level cards on Axis and stuff. So I thought that was a pretty good win and a pretty big spot for Benito. But man, Albert Morales is tough, man. I mean, he went 3 hard rounds with Brett Johns. I don't think the soup can win was anything impressive. But I mean, he's a tough out, man. So this is a really close fight. I don't know yet. I don't have a pick on this fight yet. I'm still kind of looking at it, but my lean is just Benito Lopez. I think he's on the come up a little bit more. He had just that big win, a lot of momentum. So 23 years old, training out of Team Alpha Male and shit. So he can't be doing nothing but getting better. So he's my lean right now. I'll probably be going with him and putting a small bet on him.
New Sean.
Did they give Lopez a contract after a split decision win?
Good fighter he faced, so.
But did they actually, or did they sign him after the fact?
I don't remember.
I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember.
I'd have to look.
Yeah, it's just a bit surprising. I saw that, so I wasn't sure. Yeah, I don't know. I will literally flip a coin to see who I'm going to pick on this card.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. Let the coin decide.
Seeing if I can find it. Let's see.
Probably see on the Wikipedia page of that week.
Except he doesn't have a Wikipedia page.
They did give him a contract.
All right. Must have been a slow week.
They gave it to him and Joby Sanchez that week. I guess it was. There were 2 split decisions. Yeah, whatever. That wasn't a great event for them. Doesn't matter at this point. I guess both these guys are D pluses. I kind of lean towards Lopez because I think Morales just kind of throws for the stars, and I don't think his grappling game is as good as Lopez's is with Alpha Male. Way better camp where Lopez comes from. I think that really helps, and they'll have him prepared for his UFC debut. So I'm gonna go with Lopez here. Not a super confident bet, but I think he does get the job done here. Moving on up further onto the main card, we got Eric Anders returning after a big debut over Rafael Natal, taking on Brazilian newcomer Marcus Perez. Wes, you're up.
Yeah, I mean Anders should get it done here. I think he's been pretty impressive. I mean, it's not the best of competition, but I mean he dusted that competition. I haven't looked closely enough at Perez yet. I still want to look at him a little more. Just his fights before his his last one on LFA, which was a decent win. Man, it's a worse Paulo Thiago and the shitty Alcantara, and the rest is literally a Brazilian fucking fluff record like so many of them guys get coming out of down there. So I just don't know what to think of him. I parlayed Anders, but minus 280 is about my breaking point on him here. I just think he's a little bit better at this point. So I'm going to go with him. Just don't know really what to think of Perez, honestly.
Any thoughts here, Nushan?
It's a third Perez on the card. It's a lot of Perez going on here. I mean, we're all pretty
Perez
we're all pretty high on Eric Anders. Don't know much about Perez. He's been kind of beating up the Brazilians. Good win to get the LFA title his last time out, but with the number it is, I'll sit back and maybe Anders destroys him.
Yeah, I'm with Nushan here. I think that kind of side with his breakdown. Really high on Anders. You know, we've touched on his athleticism before. He is a big, strong guy. You know, collegiate football at University of Alabama. Bama. National champion, leading tackler on that national title team, whatever year it was.
He's a legit athlete, man. Jesus.
Yeah, we're talking about a legit athlete. You know, there are only so many in the sport. There will be more as time goes on. I think, you know, kind of the segue, but I think in the heavier weight classes, the 205 and the 265 weight class, we're going to see more and more athletes come over from those sports as they start doing more MMA training and they leave the sport, or, you know, guys that don't make it in the pro football or even basketball potentially. But probably most likely football will come over into MMA and you'll see some start having some success. And that's really what's going to build up this, you know, those weight classes, even at middleweight, which is what this is. Didn't really mean to digress, but thought it deserved to be touched on. But this guy's legit. You know, coming over from LFA, he's got real punching power. He dusted Hafe on the tall. Had zero problem with that guy.
And that's a tough dude. That is a tough dude.
He's a legitimate middleweight. He's not a world beater, but he's a legitimate middleweight, and he ran through him. He's facing an undefeated Brazilian who has, you know, one legitimate win that Nushan touched on in LFA. So it'll be interesting because both these guys are LFA champions at one point. Anders he left. The title went vacant. This guy pulled it. So has some interesting appeal from that perspective, but I'm going to side with the athlete. I mean, it's hard not to, because I think he really could be a potential top 10 guy in this weight class. I think he has that kind of ability. You know, can grapple, obviously can strike, and the movement's really critical in a weight class like this. You know, being able to move, he's going to be able to compete. So I'll take him to continue on, and I hope he gets you know, more talented or just a well-known fighter. So he can continue to move up in this division. 4 fights left on the card. One kind of a snoozer we'll touch on right now. The other 3 all have real meaning. Scott Holtzman taking on Daryl Horcher in the Who Gives a Shit Lightweight Invitational. Wes, please don't spend more than 15 seconds on this bout.
Yeah, I hope this is a snoozer because I think Holtzman's the better fighter, but we know what Holtzman does after a round and a half, and I think this has the Dober loss, the Emmett loss written all over it. Horcher outlasts Holtzman, and Horcher wins a shitty decision.
That was good. Nushan.
Yeah, don't care. Let's go.
All right, cool. I got Holtzman graded one spot, I think a D+, Horcher a D. But I'm with Wes. It's like the tortoise versus the hare. Holtzman starts off well, but can he close it? I don't know how anyone could be convinced that Horcher, that Holtzman can close a 3-round fight. He just hasn't proven to be able to do that consistently. So do not bet this. Next fight up, really good bout. Second best bout of the card. Maybe even arguably the best fight on the card. Real chess match I expect here. Marlon Rice taking on Aljamain Sterling at a top 10 bantamweight matchup. Wes, what do you think here?
Yeah, this is a really good fight, man. I really like both of these guys a lot. Jay, you know me, and you've been huge Sterling fans for quite a few years now. I know he had some stumbles, man, but his last couple years, he's really gotten his shit together. He's really improved a lot. To me, this just comes down to I think Moraes is just a little bit more well-rounded, and I think this fight is going to be a kickboxing match, and I just don't think Sterling has the all-around technical striking that Moraes does, and I think that's how this fight's going to go. I think it's going to go to a decision. It's going to be close, but I just think that Moraes does just enough to outwork Sterling each round. I know we keep saying like Sterling's like, and he is young in the game and shit, but I mean, Bryce is only 29 years old, man. The dude trains at some of the best camps like Sterling does too. They're all kind of they're both in that East Coast kind of, we talked about it before the show, that they're producing great fighters out of the East Coast up there now, the Northern Coast. Just those camps up there, man, they kind of all travel around, and, you know, you get your Sarah BJJ, your Mark Henry kickboxing in. It's really playing well for guys up there, and these are two of the better guys from that area. Yeah, going with Moraes. I'll be betting Moraes. I think the line is going to keep coming down a little bit. Most everybody I've seen is betting Sterling in this fight. I can't blame them betting the plus money, but I like Moraes, and hopefully this gets down closer to pick 'em.
New Sean.
It's a rough changeup for Sterling. He's supposed to fight Hani Yahya, which is a lot easier fight than Marlon Moraes. I mean, that was kind of a weird booking. I thought Sterling would get
Wasn't it Caraway originally?
No, he's never been signed to fight Caraway.
Well, he already fought Caraway.
Yeah, he fought Caraway and lost.
Yeah, it was Yahya.
Yeah, so that's kind of weird. Marlon Moraes is a very good fighter. He's got good takedown defense. This is going to be a tough fight for Sterling. But maybe Sterling can get him down and hold him down and not gas. I don't know. This is a tough fight. I put goes the distance in that parlay to close with Luke Sanders. Together they're plus 102. So I played those pretty big. I think either way,
that wins.
Whoever wins this fight, I don't think anybody's getting finished. These are both really tough guys, and I will I'll pick Marlon Moraes.
I got Moraes an A-, Aljamain Sterling a B+. So just from number perspective, it's actually the highest graded fight I have on the entire card. It's going to be competitive because Sterling he's just long for this weight class, long legs, kind of unorthodox in his striking. It's not going to be stand in the pocket type of affair. It's just not. And that makes for kind of some weird bouts. They're not usually super exciting. And with Moraes, he's obviously a very skilled striker. He's got very good takedown defense. I'm with Nushan. I should go to the scorecards. I do rate Moraes a little bit higher at this point in their careers just because I think he's a more apt or educated, I should say an educated striker. We just saw how he fought against John Dodson. And he had really had his moments in that bout against a very talented, dangerous individual. I don't think if Sterling fought him, for example, you would have saw anything like that. I mean, that's not Aljamain's game. And he's going to struggle to get Moraes to the ground consistently in this bout. So I'm gonna say Moraes wins, not a strong side, just because I'd be curious to see how it does go if it goes to the ground. And just it could be kind of not too many definitive strikes on the feet, and it goes to kind of a decision. Moraes is kind of the king of the close decisions, he's the new Rafael Assunção in this weight class. So I'm with Nushan. I like the that decision prop, and that is our 5 dimes EU consensus bet of the week. This Fight goes the distance with Luke Sanders, and Nushan already said it pays out at plus 102. Yep. Co-main event, Gabriel Benitez returning from that TUF Latin America season, facing off against the dude that John Anik dabbed Mississippi Mean,
My
Jason
cuz.
Knight. Yep.
Hick Diaz.
Hick Diaz, Wes's cousin, Jason Knight, returning to the octagon, going across the country. Wes, of course, we got to start with you here. Any inside info here? Is he? He's not in this fight, is he?
Nah, he's got.
Did you have any? Did you have any cornbread with him? Any sort of, Southern home cooking? Like, have you been sharing with him?
I don't.
Have you been sitting in Alan Belcher's gym? Have you been sitting in the corner of Alan Belcher's gym
doing a dip,
eating fried chicken dip, and having
some moonshine?
Good old moonshine.
We got inside information.
Do you have inside information? Tell the listeners what you really want to tell them.
Yeah, I've been down there in the corner of Belcher's gym, doing my due diligence, just sitting in the corner, having a drink of moonshine, doing a big dip. Now, I like Jason Knight in this fight, man. Benitez is tough. They just Knight ran into a buzzsaw last time, man. Lamas is still really, really good. He caught Jason Knight in that fight, but man, Benitez is tough. I don't think he can go three rounds at the pace that Knight's going to put on him. Knight's got an iron chin outside of last time, so I like him in this fight. The line's just it's getting a little up there, man. Minus 310 here is still another line that's just they're getting crazy on some of these fights to where they're pretty close. These guys are good but not great. And do you really want to be laying minus 300 on some of these guys? I got him. I did parlay him. I got it a little bit cheaper. I think like minus 260 or something like that. So that was a little bit more,
reasonable,
closer. Yeah, closer to what I thought it should be. So I like Knight in this fight. Just think over minus 300 is getting a little out there against a pretty tough guy that trains at a decent gym, has fought some pretty decent competition. But man, you're losing to Enrique Barzola and shit like that. I gotta take Jason Knight. So yeah, that's my pick. Gotta take the cuz.
New Sean.
I don't think I've ever got a Gabriel Benitez fight right. I thought he sucked, and then he beat Clay Collard, and I was like, oh, maybe he's got something. Then he gets smashed by Andre Fili, and I'm like, oh, he sucks. And then beats Sam Sicilia. I'm like, oh, okay, he's all right. Then fucking loses to Enrique Barzola. So, I mean, if he's alternating wins, maybe he gets a win here. I don't think so. Jason Knight is a lot better than him. Lamas is he's just that top 5 kind of gatekeeper. He beats guys that aren't the elite, so that's not a bad loss.
Clay Collard's his best win.
Yeah.
Bellator lines.
Yeah, I saw those. I didn't even know Bellator was having a card. But
Carvalho.
it is sketchy seeing
Wait, who's fighting in Bellator?
Exactly. Getting flatlined, he got smashed pretty good. That's always kind of sketchy to see, so I'm going to pick Knight, and hopefully he wins, but I can't lay minus 300 like Wes said.
What is this?
You're looking at Bellator?
No, I'm looking at a post from Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Gertz plus money. I might have to sprinkle on that a little bit.
This is going to be another one of these tape delayed cards, isn't it? Of course it is. It's happening in fucking Italy. It's probably happening right now.
Oh, is that what's his name fighting?
Sakara versus Carvalho.
Right now.
The first Bellator cards that I ever missed since Bellator started was these overseas cards. And I literally, the shitty ones, I just go back and look at the ending fight highlights now. I don't even go back.
How many times can Alessio Sakara fight for a title?
There's only like
And
There's only 5 fights on the SureDog page.
They don't know what's going on there either.
They're so fucking stupid, dude. Then they're gonna like counter program the fucking pay-per-view. Like
Rory and fucking Lima.
what are y'all? Yeah, what are y'all doing, man? Like even if you put a better fight card, people are gonna watch the UFC over them. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Plus
how it is.
It's tape delayed. It's not good. That's never good.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got Benitez a D+, Knight a C+. On the feet, I mean, Benitez I think is fairly crafty, but I think Knight has a huge advantage on the ground. I really do. I think his grappling game is really underrated, and his submission game is actually pretty sick. Jason Knight wins. He's younger, again, more talented, and the grappling I think will be the difference. I think he smokes Benitez on the ground once it gets there.
Oh shit, Kansas in trouble, Jay.
Who are they playing?
Washington, they're down 12 with 4.5 left.
That doesn't look good. Allen Fieldhouse?
Yeah.
Wow, that is something. Main event time. Interesting bout. Important bout. Brian Ortega, Cub Swanson. Wes, you're up first. Let's go.
Yeah, this is a really good fight. Like you said, a very important fight. The winner of this could be, maybe next, maybe right after that for a shot at Max. Man, I can't get out of my head going back and watching Ortega fights. I know he's talented. I know he catches stuff, but god damn, he gets beat up in almost every fight, man. And he's on the brink of losing. Has pulled off some crazy good subs, like you said, Jay. His actual sub game in MMA is top of the food chain. It's some of the best there is. Man, to me, I just think Cub using his counter wrestling here keeps this on the feet, man. And I think on the feet, his hands are just going to be too good for Ortega. This is 5 rounds as well. We've never seen Ortega in something like that. Does give him more time to catch something, so you can look at it both ways, I guess. Is
that a current picture? There's a picture up here of Kane, Habib, and Cormier training together. Is that current?
No.
There's no way Kane is currently training.
Khabib training? Nah.
No.
Kane training? Definitely not.
Exactly. That's why you know this is a fake picture, Photoshop like motherfucker.
Biggest. Hey, he's going to go down as one of the biggest waste of talents in MMA history.
Yep.
Easily. But yeah, back to that. I just, I think Swanson keeps this up. I think Swanson probably gets a late finish, 4th round, somewhere there, just by volume. If not, I think he takes a decision here. So Cub for me, I'm betting it. I just Cub it plus money. That's just kind of crazy, man. I don't think he should be a dog here to Brian Ortega. I mean, it's even money, but Ortega has moved to being the fave. I can't see Cub being an underdog to Brian Ortega. So nothing big, but yeah, I'll be betting Cub.
Yeah. Nushan.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on Cub, just small. Tough for me to back a guy that has to come from behind to win his last 4 wins. Like, that's just playing with fire.
All of them.
Yeah,
all
every single one. So, I mean, it's awesome he has that technique to be able to do that, but that is playing with fire. And when you get up to the upper echelon, you do not want to leave it like that. If you're going to bet Ortega, you probably should wait until after round 1, and you'll probably get a better price because he does start slow, and like I said, he does have to come from behind. So you might get some decent plus money if Cub starts off well and he loses the first round like he's done in the last 4 fights. But also the age difference. There's what 8 years difference. That's a decent amount of time. Swanson's kind of
a lot of cage years.
Yeah, and Cubs had a resurgence. I thought he was done after those beatings from Edgar and Holloway, but he's kind of turned it around. He hasn't beat anybody too amazing. That war with Superboy was pretty sweet, but so that's why it's not a big bet to me. But I think he's going to be able to do it, and I think it might be by decision.
before we get to that, just want to say that we're 3 events left in the Tout Masters season. It looks like first place, there's a lead there, but there are a ton of other places that are still viable. There's definitely some potential to move around, so pretty exciting end to the season coming. We'll be taking sign-ups for Tout Master later this week. With the first event in early January, or not the first week, but after that, there's a little bit of time. But ultimately, we want to get that situated and everybody kind of signed up by the first week of January at the very latest. So sign-ups will be going for that. Hopefully, we can get over 200 people, or 200 contestants for the 2018 version of Tout Master, which will be the 4th season of Tout Master. Which is pretty exciting. Anyway,
passing that belt.
That's right, passing that championship belt, which is a cool thing we got going with that. I got both these guys at B+, Ortega and Swanson. Huge fight for Brian Ortega, undefeated. So obviously the winning streak. But for both these guys, neither has ever fought for a UFC title. And you have to think, with Holloway already having wins over Lamas, over, Aldo, several other guys in this weight class. He certainly beats Swanson already, but that was years ago to now, and I'd be surprised if the winner of this fight doesn't fight Holloway in 2018. So big stakes. Swanson definitely the better striker. There's no denying that. Amateur boxing prowess. He could have fought professionally at some level. He's got hands. But he definitely takes risks. And Ortega's got 4 consecutive third-round finishes. I've never even heard of that before. He's one of the most aggressive submission grapplers you'll find. Tremendous guard game. Can find chokes from a variety of positions. So he's dangerous in a lot of areas. And he's a guy who likes to turn it on later in fights. So these guys kind of mentioned it. Ortega could get better as the fight goes on, and that could be a way to play this. As I would expect Swanson to win the first round, and Ortega could turn it on late. Or if you're looking for a prop to play beforehand, I think the best option would be Ortega by sub, just because of his prowess to get those kind of things. And Swanson has his last 3 losses have been by submission. That prop is plus 250. I will not be recommending or playing this fight. Pre-fight from a money line perspective. I don't see because I do see these fighters being having 2 different paths to victory. And quite frankly, I could see each of those scenarios playing out. So pre-fight prop if you're looking for kind of longer odds, or definitely in fight live after the first or second round if you're looking at Ortega live potentially, or even Swanson if he's kind of just truly outclassing Ortega on the feet.
Pizza boy going for 25K. I'm laughing my ass off. Jay's like, does anyone really believe that? God, these fucking Twitter fucks, man. I swear, dude.
Well, you're having too much fun with the Twitter gang.
Oh, shit.
And that is the rest of that is our show. Another good week. Hopefully we could turn around our consensus bet. That would be a good thing to do, so we can start ending 2017 on a high note. That's what we're looking to do. And we hope to do that. Then we'll throw it all in Bitcoin, and we'll make even more money.
There you go.
It seems like the thing to do in 2017. Yeah. Anyway, we'll be back next week. We got a big Fox card coming up from New Sean's neck of the woods.
Not really, but yeah, sort of.
You know what I mean?
That should be a violent card. That should be a good fucking card for violence.
Yeah, we like that. And we'll be back next week. Enjoy, folks.